You are worth the discovery. So go out and discover, honey, okay? Form your list, discover these products, add the good ones, okay? Get rid of the bad ones, and let's have our best hair life for this year. Well, for this year and beyond. Hey guys, welcome back. What's up, subbies? And I want to say what's up to the newbies. That's everybody checking me out, maybe for the first time. Get on in here. Say hello to each other and get on in here. You came on a good day, okay? Today we are building the regimen. We've been talking about shampoos, conditioners, leave-in conditioners, yada, yada, yada. And now today we are going to talk about flat irons, okay? Or styling tools, but I'm going to stick to the flat irons. Now, for a lot of you guys who don't use heat, this particular regimen ended last week with the moisturizers, okay? Last week we talked about moisturizers and heat protectants. And like I said, those who do not care to partake in the caliente part of a regimen, the regimen pretty much ends with just moisturizing your hair, making sure it's nice and, moisturized. But for all those who take it a little step further and like to flat iron, this one's for you. So for those who don't use heat, you're probably like, just bear with us. I know you're rolling your eyes, but it's okay. We're going to go over heat. We're going to go over the flat irons. And we sort of did the flat irons anyway, because I've talked about my flat iron that I like to use. And I also gave an alternative, but we're going to do a brief overhaul. Okay. And get into some flat irons, 2 that I've used. Okay. And the rest I have not used, but they've been around and they've had good reports. They've had some testimonies on their behalf as far as how good they are, okay? How efficient they are in straightening the hair. Now with flat irons, I love them because they're very versatile. They're like a couple of styling tools all in one. Not only will it, of course, flat iron your hair, meaning straighten your hair, but you can also curl with them. And as far as flat irons go, we've come a long way, okay? So it used to be, the old school plug-in metal irons, like the Golden Hots or the Conairs, where it was just a regular metal plate. But now we've gotten into some technology, honey, okay? So we're dealing with ceramic, tourmaline, and titanium, okay? So we're gonna break those down just really quickly, and then we're gonna get into the fun stuff, which is naming the irons, okay? So there are different technologies that they've now infused into the flat irons, styling tools in general, okay? You have ceramic, you have tourmaline, and you have titanium, okay? And some irons have a combination of the 2 or 3, okay? So the ceramic, we already know, it's usually ceramic coated plates, and ceramic helps to preserve the moisture in your hair, okay? By heating from the inside out. Therefore, it helps your hair to retain more of the moisture. It doesn't zap a lot of the moisture like the old school metal plates do, or did, or do, okay? So if anything, if you're looking for a flat iron, a good flat iron, as far as the plug and play ones, you want to sort of stick to this new technology, okay? So ceramic is very good. You know that the irons that I use are ceramic. So ceramic is very good. So what's the difference between ceramic and tourmaline? Now tourmaline, it also helps to preserve the moisture in your hair. And it's said that it helps to straighten the hair with less heat. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to have your dial all the way up when you have a tourmaline iron. It can do the same thing, but with less degrees. And as far as the 3 are concerned, tourmaline is supposed to be the best as far as heat distribution. Therefore, you need less passes, okay? So you can work at a lower degree of heat and get the same result as far as same smoothing results with less passes. We're not supposed to be using a lot of passes anyway, okay? We already talked about that. I use 2, I think 3 is enough. we're going to keep it moving, okay? So with that being said, Tourmaline, again, less passes and a better heat distribution. So any iron that has the Tourmaline coating, okay, that's sort of the benefit to the Tourmaline. Now, titanium is supposed to be the more durable of the three, okay? That's an actual metal. So it's the most durable of the three. Also out of the three, it's going to heat up the quickest. Now with titanium, it also has an even heat distribution as well, okay? It's very good at that, which allows for fewer passes over the hair. And it's supposed to be, according to some, it's supposed to be better than just a ceramic iron alone. So you can find a flat iron, a good flat iron with any of these attributes, with any of those characteristics, or a combination thereof. So we're going to jump right into it, okay? Jump right into it. Now, you guys already know what my top two, some of you, okay, those who are initiated, you know at least what my number one is. And we're not going to go in any particular order per se, but I am going to mention the two that I personally have used and that I personally can attest to and that I personally would re-up on, okay? I would re-up on either one of these. So the very first one that we're going to get into is my Theorie, honey. Theorie Quantum 1-inch flat iron. You already know. Hey, you already know. You already know. I love this iron. I love this iron. I love this iron. So for all those who are peeking in for the very first time, Theorie is a company that makes lots of products as far as shampoos and conditioners, hair care products. I love their products. That's what I mainly use. Those are my staples. It's my staple and go-to as far as shampoos and conditioners. And the flat iron is just part of the whole Theorie world of hair goodness, okay? And what I will say is this. I love it. It's a digital iron and it uses Titan Sculpt technology. That's their term, okay? Titan Sculpt. But basically it's a titanium iron with ceramic coating, okay? So you're getting that 1-2 punch in this iron. It goes all the way up to 450. You know, we're not doing 450 as relaxed girls. Like I said before, natural girls, those who do not have chemicals in their hair, y'all can go all the way up to 450. But relaxed girls, we got to dial it back a notch, okay? Because we don't want anybody with scorched hair. Anybody who does use heat, we don't want to abuse it. And part of that is knowing what temperature to put it on. So anyway, it does go all the way up to 450. It boasts a titanium core, which is going to give you both of those attributes as far as quick heating plus the ceramic coating, okay? It's going to smooth your hair on out. And also boasts that it sort of calibrates every millisecond to make sure that that temperature stays where you have set it, okay? So it does that. And it has a 60-second auto shut off mechanism with it, okay? So if you leave the iron on, it's going to shut off after 60 seconds, okay? It's going to give a little beep and then it shuts off. I love this iron. Haven't had an issue. It's been quite a few years now. It still lasted. I don't have any chips on it, okay? So the ceramic coating isn't chipping. So I love it. Where can it be found? Right now, it can be found on their website. Actually, right now, it can't be found on their website because I believe they're sold out. I believe they're sold out currently. As of me recording this, and I checked it last week, it was not in stock. But again, you can at least go to their website and check it out. Just type in Quantum, okay? Quantum, Quantum flat iron, and it should come up and you'll be able to read the stats just in case you're interested, okay, in a flat iron. So that's the one that I use, okay? That's the one that I use and I love. So moving right along, number 2 on the list would be the High, okay? H-A-I, the High. And they have a couple of different versions, but this one is the classic convertible, okay? This is the one with the blue plates because they have one with just the regular ceramic looking plates, which would be like a bronzy, you know, looking coating. It's a black iron with blue plates and it does have a temperature dial, okay? So in that regard, you can control the temperature. It has an on and off button, and it is ceramic coated. So the thing that I like about the High is that it's a mid-priced iron that gives you bang for your buck, okay? Now, when I say mid-priced, this particular iron is under $100. I was introduced to it by a stylist, okay? So when I did go to the salon, this was many moons ago, this young lady used this iron on me. Again, this was during my discovery phase. I was trying to find out about a lot of different products. I had tried another particular flat iron, but this was the first time my hair was actually smooth and I got salon results. So I took a peek over my shoulder and I saw what type of iron she was using, and it was the High. So I tucked that away, and what I did was I looked it up for myself, and then I bought one. And I have to say that I loved it. I got super smooth results, no issues. Now, the only reason why I went from the High to the Theorie is because when my High went down, okay, I believe the plate dislodged. You know, I had it for a while, and whatever glue or whatever adhesive that was keeping the plate within the iron, it had dislodged or disintegrated. So now the plate was loose. So you can't use it. So I couldn't use it. So when I went to re-up on the High at that particular time, they were no longer selling it. At least I could not find it anywhere. I went to their website. I just Googled it, couldn't find it. So I was using Theorie products at the time, went on their website, saw their flat iron, and the rest is history, okay? But the High, I highly recommend. Now, these next irons I have not tried personally, but again, I'm mentioning them because they have good reports. So we're about to get into a whole lot of letters being thrown around, okay? So just bear with me, hold on, brace yourself. Okay, next we're talking about the Chi, okay? That's CHI, so that's Chi. We talked about their Iron Guard or heat protectant last week, okay? So Chi is a brand. They have hair products, hair styling products, okay, that basically cater to smoothing the hair through their ionic technology or through ionic technology. And this particular iron is no different, okay? Now, I've since seen that they have upgraded their iron because they have a couple of different versions. They have the first version or the original, which is just ceramic coated, okay? So it has ceramic coated plates, but there's no temperature dial, okay? There's no temperature adjustment module on it. Some people liked it, some people didn't because you couldn't adjust the temperature. I believe my sister had that particular one. She didn't really have an issue. I believe it's permanently set on like 395 or something like that. So it's close to 400, not exactly, but it's in the high 300s, which may not be bad for some, but there's something to be said about being able to control the temperature, okay? Because you may not always want it on that high temperature, and not everybody can take it. So anyway, there's that. There's the original, and now they have a digital version, okay? So with the digital version, you'll be able to see the readout of the temperature as well as control the temperature. No, and they have different variations in between, okay? Like a small one and this and that. But the company itself, again, is well known for its products that help to smooth the hair and add shine. So these irons are supposed to be the perfect complement to all of their products. So you may want to check it out. If you are interested, these particular irons can be found, they can be found at Ulta, okay? And they can be found online, okay? And again, they have a couple of different variations, but they do have the one where it's temperature controlled, and then they have one that is not temperature controlled. So it all depends on what you like and what you're looking for, and knowing your hair. The next one on this list, again, we're dealing with 3 letters, and this is the GHD, okay? GHD. And this one is the Platinum Plus, okay? So it sounds pretty prestigious, sounds kind of up there. It sounds pretty impressive. And from the sounds of it, as far as a lot of people who have used it, it is. Now, the thing with this one, after I just spoke about temperature control. This one keeps a steady temperature of 365 degrees, okay? Now, again, I use 360, okay? I think that's hot enough. So 365 isn't too much of a stretch, and I can see that being a happy medium, okay? Again, you don't want to go too high, so this one is at a healthy 365, or let's say safe 365 degrees. So in that regard, there's no temperature control, but it does boast that it has a certain technology in it that will adjust the power of the iron based on the thickness or the thinness of the parts that you are flat ironing, okay? So they basically have sensors that monitor the heat, okay? The heat that is exerted or emitted while you're using the iron. So with that being said, on thinner sections of your hair, they would adjust the heat, okay? Not necessarily the temperature, but how much it's exerting, okay, on the hair, as opposed to maybe a thicker part of your hair if you were doing a thicker section. So basically what they're trying to say is that, or what I'm trying to say, it will basically adjust how much of that 365 degree heat it's going to emit, okay, at any certain time. It has sensors that basically control that amount of heat as you're doing the passes, okay, as you're doing the passes. So it has that type of smart technology. That's what they said, okay? That's what they said. And it also boasts a shut off mode as well. This one, it shuts off after 30 minutes of non-use. So you may want to check it out. I have heard a lot of people talk about this particular one, and especially with stylists, okay? Stylists I have seen and heard use this particular iron. So if you're in the market for one, here's another one that you can peruse and check out and see for yourself. The GHD Platinum Plus, okay? Platinum Plus. Okay, so this next one I actually did try. While I was looking for a good flat iron, I did try this one out because I noticed that a lot of stylists used it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try it out. And even though it did not work out for me, it may work out for you, okay? And this is the Babyliss. Now this one's kind of long. Hold on to your britches. Okay. The Babyliss Pro Nano Titanium Flat Iron. You can't miss it. It's like a baby blue metallic colored iron. And this one boasts titanium plates. And not only that, but it goes all the way up to 465 degrees. Okay, so I stand corrected because I thought that the highest is 450. It actually is not. Okay, so I stand corrected. It goes all the way up to 465, and a lot of stylists use it. That I can say. I have noticed that a lot of stylists that deal with natural hair use this, okay? It can be used on both, don't get me wrong, but I have noticed that a lot of stylists that deal with natural hair, this is their go-to, okay? So you're able to get a nice silk press, okay, to your hair, which is just a term for straightening natural hair, okay? It gets it nice and silky, okay? So thus the term silk press. But I have noticed that. And I think that's because, you know, it goes all the way up to 465. Like I said before, naturals, they can stand that heat, okay? Relaxed girls, we got to dial it back a little bit. And yeah, like I said, a lot of people, a lot of stylists, that's their go-to. For me, when I used it, I just did, using the same products that I've used, okay, on all the other flat irons, I did not get the look and the softness that I wanted, okay? And I stayed within, you know, my natural degrees of 300. At that time, it was 345. So I didn't really get the zhuzh. I didn't really get the normal zhuzh that I get out of my flat irons. I don't know why. I think maybe because ceramic helps to get my hair together, okay? And being that this is, I believe, purely titanium, that may be the reason why that my hair it just didn't feel the way that I like it to feel. It didn't feel rough. It didn't look damaged afterwards. It wasn't smoking or anything like that. But comparing what the Babyliss did to my hair compared to what the High, which is what I was used to at that particular time, for me, there really was no comparison. I believe my hair preferred the ceramic, okay, over the solely titanium plates of the Babyliss, okay? So with that being said, I believe that's why I sort of moved on from the Babyliss. But like I said, a lot of people like it. This one has purely titanium plates. So again, with the titanium plates, you know, that's going to speed up the smoothing process, okay? So that may appeal to you. So you may want to check it out, okay? You may want to check it out because a lot of professionals do prefer this iron, okay? They do like it. They do use it. So you may want to add this to your list of styling tools if you are in the market or in the mood to buy one, okay? So those are just a few irons out there. I wanted to put a few irons in the fire. I wanted to put a couple of out there, okay? A couple of irons out there just for you to choose from, just for you to peruse, just in case you're in the market for one, okay? Just in case you were curious why I use what I use and what I've used prior to, and what I prefer. And then out of all that, you can choose what you prefer. Again, we have the different technologies that sort of add or have different benefits. And if you can find an iron that sort of combines at least two of these, I think you'd be in good standing. And it's not just in flat irons. They use this technology also in curling irons and other styling tools. Curling wands, irons, flat irons. You get the gist, okay? For those of us who don't like to let stuff go and they just white knuckle ride it on down until it disintegrates, okay, as far as products and tools, I want to put this out there. Any iron that starts to flake, if its coating is starting to come up or off or flake, you need a new iron. It's time to put that one to rest and you need a new one, okay? Because underneath, that's usually an aluminum plate, and that's the part we don't want on our hair, okay? So once it starts to reveal that aluminum metal plate or metal plate, that's when we know that we want to get a new iron. Because the whole point in getting a ceramic coated iron is to keep our hair from touching the aluminum plate in the first place. Because the whole point is that you want to safely style your hair, okay? And you don't want the metal plates on your hair because they're not as safe, okay, or as beneficial as the ceramic coating on it. That ceramic coating or the Tourmaline coating on your iron, once it starts to go, it has to go, okay? Once it starts to go, it's time to go and get a new iron, okay? We're not playing around with our hair. We say it's going to be our best hair life for this year, and that's what I'm talking about. And that's staying on top of your styling tools if you use them, okay? If you use them. So we're not playing around with those metal plates, okay? Don't do it. They can be damaging to your hair. And plus, all the snags you can get from the chips on the iron, it's not worth it. It's not worth holding. Just save up, get a new iron. Just like with the pans, you know, the cooking pans and pots and pans that have the coatings. Once that starts to chip off, don't want to use that because you're going to be ingesting that. So what can be said about the pans, okay, the non-stick pans, we are saying about the irons that you put on your hair, okay? So what you cook with, if it chips up and this and that coating starts to go away or chip away from your pans, you know, to throw away those pots and pans and not use those anymore, okay? Same goes for the irons. Once that coating comes off of your flat iron, your curling iron, whatever type of iron, you want to get rid of it. Because what's underneath, you do not want to expose your hair to, period. So I definitely wanted to put that out there, okay? Just in case there's any of us holding on to old irons and just riding the wave until, no, don't ride that wave. Get rid of it, okay? Get rid of it. Time for a new iron. You deserve it. So another thing that I want to mention also is the length of the iron, or what I should say, the plates, okay? Whether it should be a 1 inch or a half an inch. Sometimes you see 2 inches, like the really wide irons. You know, they can vary. Flat irons can vary as far as not only the length of their plates, but the width of their plates. You know, when I first went shopping for, you know, I was going to upgrade, you know, my iron from the hot and golds, you know, the fat plates, and then go to a ceramic iron. All the irons were like an inch and a half, and I was just like, 1 inch is not enough for my hair. I need 3 inches, not an inch less. Oh my gosh, no, I'm not doing an inch and a half. Like, no. Okay. But what I soon found out was that it doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is that, or the only thing that is really going to change is, of course, how much it covers while you're doing your passes. So it's just going to be quicker. Of course, if you had 3 inches, you're going to cover more of your hair as opposed to the 1 inch. And again, it's personal preference, but a lot of the irons out there, they're about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So if you're used to something a little wider, don't get intimidated, don't get discouraged, okay? Because no matter the length of your hair, you can use a 1 inch or a 1.5 inch iron. You're just going to cover a little less of your hair during the pass, but it's all going to be covered because you're doing a pass. Again, I just wanted to put that out there just in case there's anyone new to flat irons. You know, maybe you've never used a flat iron, but maybe you're interested, or your interest has been piqued, and you see these different, you know, you see these different stats as far as the width of the plates or the length of the plates, okay? So the width is basically just that. How much hair, how much width of your hair you're going to cover at that particular time while you're doing a pass, but it's nothing to really be concerned about. You can definitely do long or longer hair with 1 inch, okay? Just like with, you know, those with short hair. Now, obviously those with shorter hair, okay, like pixie cuts or maybe to your shoulder, okay? Obviously that's not even, you know, you would get a 1 inch iron and keep it moving. But those with longer hair, and maybe you're a little concerned because, oh, that's not, you know, maybe you were me, maybe you're me now, what I was back in the day, but you'll be fine. Your hair will be covered, honey, okay? And it will be nice and sleek and all that you want. So that was a little bit of alphabet soup going on, a lot of letters being thrown around, but I wanted to get as much information as I could out there in a short amount of time, and make sure that I covered a lot of the bases, okay? A lot of the basics, okay? But if you have any questions, just let me know down below. You know, we share around here. If you guys have anything extra to add, or maybe you can testify as to, you know, how these irons work for you, or maybe they didn't work for you, you can let us know down below as well. But if you have anything to add, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to read about it. You know, I'm going to read it, okay? So just let us know and just share down below. But other than that, that wasn't too bad, right? We were in and out, okay? So I want to thank you so much for dialing in and showing up. I really do appreciate it. I really, really do. And yeah, we'll be back talking about some more stuff. We are tying this up, guys. We're tying this up. So just hold on, honey. We are nearing the end, okay? But I wanted to be sure that everybody sort of starts on the same playing field, you know what I mean? Because I don't think we should assume that everyone has the right products or has this or has that. At least we can put the information out there for those who are just now starting, so that you can have the hair that you want for this year and beyond, okay? So with that being said, we are going to be talking about some more stuff. So, and a lot of goodies along the way. So you gotta come back for that. So you already know. It's gonna be the same Dolce dial. It's gonna be the same Dolce channel. So you come on back.